ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tazz Weatherly, and you are amazing. As the sun begins to set on another wild summer, it's back to school for students and back to basics for Treasure Valley realtors. From open houses and price drops to staging and contract negotiations, the nitty-gritty of selling homes is more important than ever. For more on this, let's say howdy to our field reporter, Casual Tazz.
Yes, I get that this is a great analogy. Thanks, Kubrick. I just don't think I want to put my life in the hooves of a 700-pound lawnmower.
All right, look, I'll grant you that horses are terrifying, but what are we going to do? There's literally nothing out here for miles.
Okay, new plan. Get some B-roll, get back into the studio, and have the digital squad CGI Seabiscuit. Boom, visual analogy. No horseback.
I don't hate that. It's just we don't really have that kind of a budget. It's probably going to look really, really, really bad.
Thanks, On Air Tazz. Well, partners, it's been a good ride. But now might be the time for sellers to get off the high horse. And back to earth with their pricing. Interest rates and higher inventory are leading to longer times on market for listings and even significant reductions in price. While the Treasure Valley remains a premier destination for home buyers, it isn't quite the stampede we saw last year. Sellers interested in faster closings are advised to posse up with a skilled realtor and get creative with their marketing. There's still plenty of gold in them hills as long as you're ready to do the work. Now, back to you, Tazz. What an unbelievably labored analogy from our field team. Thanks, guys. To get a better understanding of the numbers behind the trends, join me as I don the helmet of infinite understanding and take an enlightened look at some market data. Our inventory is rising, which a lot of people are kind of scared about for some reason, but it's actually a really good thing for our market. We are finally at normal levels of inventory in our market. We finally have a buffer on inventory because earlier this year, both Ada and Canyon County, according to the graph, were below like 500 units each, which is dangerously low. So all of this inventory is a really good thing for our market, especially for our buyers. That means you have options in buying your home. Now that everything is coming back down and the interest rate is still mildly low, now's the time to take advantage of it before you could possibly be priced out for the long haul. Sellers now, switching over to you. It's really interesting to see what's happening on your end. Personally, I feel that sellers in this market are becoming actually a lot more unreasonable. And that is because, yes, comps reflect the fact that in a past market, prices were higher. However, the more supply, the less demand. And that is what we are seeing in our marketplace, especially since buyers are, playing around, finagling, having to deal with an interest rate that does decrease their purchasing power. Now is still a good time to sell. Last year, you literally could put your house up and arguably get anywhere between $10,000 to sometimes even $50,000 more because of the demand. But this market that we're in is nothing like that. As you can see, with the inventory continuously going up, we have more back on markets than we've ever seen before. We've had less solds than we have in the past 2 years to be exact. So pricing your house is the most important thing you can do. A lot of times realtors are gonna say, I have great marketing strategies, or I have great network of people. At the end of the day, none of that matters. What buyers are looking for is, does the price that I'm willing to pay equate to the value that I'm going to get? So you're also looking at what is the value of time being on market. And if you have all the time in the world, then by all means, go a little bit more aggressive and try to get max value. However, with what we're seeing in the market, it does not make sense to hit the height of your comparables if you have to buy another property, because time is money, and the more time you are spending on market, the less money you're making. So pricing your house reasonably, with strategy, with understanding of what the implications are, is the most important thing that you could do when selling your home in this market. Even with a cooling market, there's no denying that the pandemic and housing boom combined to permanently alter some parts of life in the Treasure Valley. A new report from Redfin finds that Boise home buyers led the nation in increased average yearly income, rising 24.1% over 2021 to around $98,000. The report explains that for white-collar workers earning high salaries, remote work is a huge financial boon. It enables them to move from a tech center like San Francisco to a more affordable part of the country like Boise. We caught up with one of these city-hopping remote workers to find out what life is like on the sunny side of the wage gap.
So, as a vibe harvester for a startup in Silicon Valley, I'm basically in charge of making sure we're channeling the correct energy and mindset into everything we do as a company. I used to hang out at the company Kombucha Bar and compliment everyone on their hoverboards and karmic radiance. But since going remote, I'm having to read auras and vibe check remotely. Thankfully, my $670,000 annual salary goes much further here, and I've been able to install my own kombucha bar at home. But I can totally see that if you're a local, how much it really freaking sucks that, all of these out-of-state people are basically just buying up all of your property and now you can't afford anything. One way to look at it is like someone with my wage, would that actually increase the overall wages here in Idaho? Hopefully, I think that would be a great thing for most people. But as of now, I definitely enjoy all of the benefits. But anyway, that's not really important. What really matters is you're in energetic alignment with all the exciting monetization synergy coming in the next fiscal year. Do you also want some kombucha?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our broadcast for August 2022. From everyone here in studio, thanks for joining us. I'm Tazz Weatherly, keeping you informed and hopefully entertained.